good afternoon whenever you're reading or watching this, I should say. Tim here after Game 2, TFC 2010. And Game 2, we lose 4-1 to the New England Revolution away in Boston. So here we are, 2 games in. We've got 6 goals against, and we've got 1 goal for, and that was Dwayne D. Rosario. Today was a tale of 2 halves, I think is really the way I want to describe the game. At the break, 45 minutes in, where were we? Well, Toronto FC is up 1-0, bossing the game for the most part. Good possession, good shape. D-Rose started wide. He didn't start up as an out-and-out striker today. He started more as an out-and-out winger. I really liked the freedom and the creativity he was able to create up front. And he actually scored the goal that had us up 1-0 at the half. Some of the video I just played to start this video blog today came from the Duke of Duckworth tonight, where all the youth sector of the group I'm in actually went to watch the game. And I think it's fair to say that we were pretty excited after the first half, not just because of the goal, but because of what we saw. It looked very encouraging, again, vis-a-vis to what we saw in Columbus 2 weeks ago. But then the second half, I think the tale of 2 halves comes up. I think we're looking at a very different story. We looked at defensive lapses, and we looked at 4 unanswered goals against. And again, I think particularly the gaffe made by Nick Garcia, and again, I don't want to beat a dead horse by saying I don't think he's the guy for us over the long term, but the goal and the error that the gaffe, I should say, that he actually made that led to a goal really looked to sort of deflate TFC as a team on the pitch. I think it was like, oh God, here we go again. Another Garcia mistake costs us a goal, and the floodgates are going to open, and unfortunately the floodgates did open, and we received 3 unanswered goals subsequently to that, and we lost 4-1. A couple of my friends at the pub tonight were saying, well, you know, minus the 2 defensive gaffes, it would have been a 2-1 game, and if you would have told me 2-1 against New England away, would you be satisfied with that? I would have said, yeah, maybe. At least we got a goal, and we were competitive. But with all due respect, TFC has had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. 2 weeks to bring in players. We bring in a player this morning. I know he's been training with us so far. I think his name is Ravish Hiskindvicius, and again, I know I'm butchering the Latvian name. He actually looked pretty strong, as a matter of fact. We were chanting for the new guy at the pub tonight because he actually looked pretty good particularly in the first half of play. I think his cross led to D-Rose goal, as a matter of fact, in the first half. But again, I got to question why it took 2 weeks to sign a guy when he was only able to join the team this morning when they were in Boston yesterday. Speaking of Boston, I think the away support looked fantastic. I had a lot of friends in Boston tonight. I was actually able to see a few of my buddies on TV tonight on the broadcast on Gold TV. And I think we had anywhere a good guesstimate for between 400 to 600 away fans. That's a little low by Toronto standards. I think really the fact that there was the potential MLS strike early on in the season sort of actually put a damper on a lot of people's plans. People frankly didn't want to make plans when they thought that there would be a strike. So a good show up like that was absolutely fantastic. It's really hard not to be negative right now. And there's a lot of negativity out there, and frankly, I can't blame them. Where are we? We're 2 games in, 6 goals for, against, 1 goal for. We see a player like Garcia continuing to be trotted out, continuing to make gaffes that are costing us goals and potentially costing us points. But on the flip side, we're still very early. I think 2 weeks ago in my video blog, I said that it's really too early to make a real assessment about this team. And it's going to take probably up until May to really know what we've got to deal with. And I still stick by that. However, why should it be May is the point I'm trying to get at. Virtually every other team in MLS has, by all accounts, what they would consider to be at least a very set roster. And here we are, in year 4, seeming like we're an expansion team all over again in a lot of respects. It almost seems like the team is being blown up and we're starting from scratch. It almost seems like this is a rebuilding year more than a playoff year, more than anything else. And that's really disheartening in a lot of ways. And I think it's leading to a lot of angst, especially on the message boards with the really truly connected TFC fans. Now, we've got Thursday coming up. We've got our home opener. And I must say I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited to get back into the stadium. I'm excited to meet all of my friends before the game, to have a couple of beers, and then march en masse with all these supporters groups, probably 1,000 people, marching through the streets of downtown Toronto and heading to the game. And I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about chanting. I'm excited about standing for the whole game. I'm excited about cheering on my boys. But I think a couple of things are going to be different this time. And I'm not just talking the grass and the north stand at the stadium and some of the modifications they've made. I think it's fair to say that Nick Garcia is going to be the first Toronto FC player that's probably going to be booed en masse during the introductions. I have no inkling that that's going to be a plan other than just what my feeling is. I think that's definitely going to happen, considering the level of spite and vitriol that there seems to be out there towards Nick Garcia right now. By the way, it was, I think, really awesome to see Chad Barrett tonight. He came on in the last 20-25 minutes of the game. It looked pretty good. He looked pacey. He looked quick. I think as a glass half full kind of perspective, I think trying to look at Chad Barrett as somebody who might be able to sort of prosper under Precky's style of play is something that we can possibly hold on to as a positive going forward. I think the work rate and the attitude that Chad Barrett has could hopefully lead to some more goals this season versus last season. And frankly, with our one goal coming from a midfielder so far this season and our lack of goals in the preseason, I think the fact that Chad Barrett's back and hopefully he'll start scoring some goals is actually going to be very, very important for TFC. It's kind of scary that we're going to be relying on Chad Barrett for goals, but here we are. And I think that's what we need to sort of remember right now, is that this is the team that we have. This is the team that I support. It's a team with a lot of flaws. It's a team with a lot of problems. And where they're going to end up at the end of the season, nobody knows. Again, I don't think it's fair to judge before May, before we have a chance to figure out, and the players, most importantly, have a chance to figure out what they're dealing with, before we can really sort of assess what's going on between now and the end of the year. 0-2 is a little bleak. I think if we don't win against an expansion team on grass at our home opener in front of 22,000 fans at BMO Field, I think the angst that I described earlier that we've been feeling out there in the Toronto FC fan culture is going to turn into outright hostility. I think you're going to see a lot of real anger and spite, for want of a better term, from Toronto FC fans if we don't win and win well on Thursday. I think we will win on Thursday. I'm predicting a 1-0 for the TFC on Thursday, and Chad Barrett's going to be the guy that's going to score the goal. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong, but I really believe that this win is absolutely critical to not only build the confidence of the team, but also to sort of build the confidence of the fans as well, that frankly has been very shaken between the off-season and what we've seen in Game 1 and Game 2. So there you have it. We lose 4-1 to New England. I really want to hear comments from you guys. If there's anything you want me to cover on the blog, anything you want me to change, to improve upon, if you've got words of love, words of hate, I really want to hear them. Feel free to post them, and I really appreciate your time and your viewing. Thank you.